Chosen one, stop using your phone. Not in a second. Not until this thought is done. Shut the other tabs. Stop the noise in the background. Turn off the notifications. This message didn't just happen to find you. This timing is not by chance. You wanted to click, watch, and listen, but it wasn't out of curiosity. It was a call, and you can't hear what heaven is about to show you if you're distracted. You can't get it while doing other things. It can't get through to a mind that is split. Take a real breath before we say another word. Let it completely fill your lungs for 3 seconds. Keep it there. Let it go slowly now. Did you sense that the way the air around you changed? The sudden heaviness in the room, and the way your chest opened just a little bit like a door unlocking from the inside. That wasn't physical. That was a spiritual thing. You just gave heaven permission to speak, so the mood changed, and what it is going to say, chosen one, is not for everyone. It is for you. Before we start, if you feel this pull and something inside you is already moving, please do one thing. Hit that like button now. Press the subscribe button. And here's why. By doing that, you let the algorithm know that this message is important. You help it find the next chosen one who has been scrolling, searching, and praying for a sign. You become part of the system heaven uses to wake people up. So don't put it off until the end. Do it now, because this isn't just stuff. You are being asked to amplify this spiritual broadcast. Please pay attention now. God has seen you struggle with something lately. It's not a small thing or a surface issue. It's something deep that has made you question your path, your timing, and your worth. You have been wondering why some doors have closed, why some people have left, why the breakthrough you prayed for seems to be taking longer than you thought, and why your life doesn't look like you thought it would. And in those late night times, when doubts creep in and the silence feels too heavy, you have asked the question that scares every chosen one. Did I miss it? Did I make the wrong choice? Is God still with me? Chosen one, listen to this with all of your heart. You didn't miss anything. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not being punished. What you're going through right now isn't a delay. It is getting ready. What seems like silence is not missing. It is focus. What seems like being alone isn't being rejected. It's safety. And what looks like nothing is really everything coming together. God has not moved away. He has come in and cleared the room so you can hear what comes next without any problems. The enemy does not want you to know this, so let me tell you. When God is about to raise you to a level that will change not only your life but also the lives of everyone around you, He does not do it in public. He does it in secret. He doesn't say it on social media. He doesn't let your critics see it coming. He hasn't even shown you the whole picture yet. You would tell people if you knew how big this next chapter was. And as soon as you tell people who aren't on board with your assignment, you give them the chance to mess up something that isn't fully formed yet. God has put you in this strange time of silence for that reason, not because you don't matter, but because you're being set apart. This is what has been going on behind the scenes. Why you thought nothing was happening. God has been taking people away, not because they were bad, but because they weren't the right ones. They were useful in the past, but they don't have permission to go where you're going now. Their energy would make you move more slowly. You would be confused by what they think. Their limits would be your ceiling. So God didn't ask you first. He didn't send you a note. He just moved them away without making a sound. And you knew it. You could feel the distance getting bigger. You could tell the talks were coming to an end. You could feel the connections fading. And a part of you thought, what did I do wrong? You didn't do anything wrong, chosen one. You didn't do anything wrong. You just grew out of the place. Heaven is making you a new one right now. But this is the part that might hurt a little before it makes you stronger. Some of the people God took away will never come back. They were only meant to be in one chapter, not the whole book. They were told to walk with you through the valley, not up the mountain with you. And if you keep looking back, waiting for them to come back, you will miss the new tribe that's already getting ready to meet you. Stop making a big deal out of what God has already closed. Stop trying to make something happen that heaven has already let go of. You don't need your old circle for your next scene. It needs your new attention. And since we're talking about what God is taking away, let's also talk about what He's taking away from you. Your desire for approval, your need to be understood. You like to explain yourself to people who have already made up their minds about you. Your willingness to put up with disrespect that looks like honesty. Your habit of shrinking so that other people feel safe. You haven't been feeling it, have you? The way you don't care about some opinions anymore. The way you can now sit in silence without feeling the need to fill it. How you can be misunderstood and not feel the need to set the record straight. That doesn't mean you're getting cold. That is you getting clearer. That is wisdom taking the place of reaction. That's maturity setting in right now. People who like the old youth one who bent, explained, and put up with things already now uncomfortable, because your growth is showing how they manipulated you. Your calm is fighting their chaos. Your limits are showing how entitled they are. Let them feel bad. You don't have to fix that discomfort. Chosen one, you need to pay very close attention to this next part, because it will help you figure out something you've been trying to figure out for months. You have been feeling a pull to leave places that used to feel like home, a desire to stay away from conversations that used to make you feel good, a desire to stop interacting with people who used to have full access to your time, energy, and feelings. And you've been asking yourself, am I being rude? Am I being selfish? Am I running away from something I should be facing? You're not running. You are going up. And to go up, you need to go up. You can't go up while holding weight. You can't fly if you're pulling anchors. You can't fully become who you are if you have people around you who won't grow. God doesn't want you to leave anyone behind. He wants you to honor the change, respect the transition, and protect the seed of what He is planting in you, even if that means being alone for a while. This is the truth that will either hurt you or set you free. Not everyone should go with you. Some people were only supposed to be close to you. They were never meant to go with you. They were sent to teach you something, show you something, or make you think about something. But when the lesson is over and the season is over, their job is done. If you keep trying to put them in a chapter they weren't meant to be in, you will slow down your own story. Trying to feed people into spaces they weren't meant to be in will only make you mad. And heaven will keep making things hard for you until you finally let go. If you've been feeling that strange tension, that awkwardness, and that distance with some people, stop trying to make it happen. Stop trying to bring back what God has already buried. You don't need everyone from your last level to move up to the next one. It only needs you, fully and willingly. Before we go any further, if this is hitting you in a way you weren't expecting and you feel seen right now, I want you to do something. Put the number 77 in the comments. Not because it is a spell or a ritual, but because it is a sign to yourself that you are awake, a sign to heaven that you are paying attention, a signal to the algorithm that this message is getting through. When you do that, you join a group of chosen ones who won't stay quiet while heaven is speaking. Don't just watch. Be a part of it. Get rid of that 77 right now. The chosen one, let's talk about the burden you've been carrying, not the weight of duties or tasks, the pressure of what other people want from you, the pressure of trying to be who they want you to be so they will finally see how valuable you are. The burden of performing, proving, explaining, and justifying has been too much for you, hasn't it? Even after a full night of sleep, you wake up tired. You feel tired even when nothing big happened. You feel heavy even though you're doing everything right. And you've been blaming yourself, thinking that something is wrong with you. You might be thinking that you're not strong enough, faithful enough, or tough enough. Stop. You are not sick. You are carrying a load that you weren't meant to carry. You are trying to control how people see you when you shouldn't be. You are bending yourself into shapes that don't fit. You thought that love meant you had to get smaller, that acceptance required you to do something, to feed in, you had to hide. But this is what God is telling you right now. That's enough. Let it go. Everything, the need to be understood by people who have already made up their minds not to understand you, the need to be praised by people who only clap when it works for them, the need to be a part of places that make you feel like you're not there. Put it down. And when you do, when you finally let go of that weight, you will feel something you haven't felt in a long time: freedom, lightness, and clarity. Not because things changed for you, but because your posture did. Not because people finally understood, but because you finally stopped needing them to. And that change, chosen one, that change from needing to be validated to just being valid, that is the change that makes everything different. You start living for the one who is already satisfied once. You stop performing for an audience that will never be happy. When you stop trying to show people how valuable you are when they don't want to see it, you start to live in the value that was given to you before you were even born. And once you make that turn, really make that turn, you can't go back. You can't make what you've seen go away. You can't forget what you know now. You can't go back to being the person you used to be. Let me tell you what the enemy has been up to. He has been telling lies in a way that sounds logical. He has been planting doubts that look like insight. He has been making people anxious while pretending to be ready. And his goal is very clear. It can keep you stuck if it can keep you confused. It can stop you from moving forward if it can keep you guessing. If it can keep your mind on what isn't happening. It can keep your mind off of what is. He doesn't have to kill you. He just needs to slow you down because he knows that your timing is linked to someone else's big break. He knows that when you start your scene, it sets off a chain reaction. It starts assignments. It gives up provision. It opens doors for people who are close to you, even people you haven't met yet. So he makes you feel bad about yourself. He makes your mistakes seem bigger. He makes the voices of your critics louder. He makes small problems seem like huge failures. If you think you are not qualified, you will not be. Before heaven even has a chance to push you forward, you will step back. You will back down before the battle even starts. Chosen one, I need you to really understand this. You are not out of the running. Your past does not make you unqualified. Your mistakes don't mean you can't do it. You are still eligible even though you have been waiting for a while. People are not disqualified because they are not perfect. They won't let God save it. They want to hide instead of heal. They can choose to stay in shame or move into grace. And you haven't been hiding. You have been getting better. You haven't been running. You have been putting things back together. You haven't been putting things off. You have been getting stronger. And you weren't wasting time during the quiet, uncomfortable, and lonely time you were being made. Let's talk about what's going to happen next. And I need you to pay attention to what I'm about to say because it will sound too good to be true. But it's not that great. That's just how it is. God is going to publicly clear your name for what you went through in private. He is about to open doors you didn't even know were there. He is about to put you in touch with people who can help you get things done faster than you could have done them alone in years. He is about to make available resources that seemed impossible just last week. He is about to change things that seemed like they would never change last month. He is going to show that things that seemed true last year are not, and he will do it in a way that makes it clear that no one else can take credit for it. But there is a condition. You have to stay where you are, even if it doesn't make sense yet. You still have to be obedient. You have to be quiet even when you want to speak up for yourself. Even when there are loud noises around you, you need to stay focused. Even when the path looks lonely, you have to stay aligned. As soon as you get out of alignment, you lose the flow. And when you step out of the flow, you make the release take longer. Not because God is punishing you, but because you are following his plan. Your stillness is what makes him move. Your trust is what will prove him right. Don't worry if you're in that middle space right now, where the old has ended but the new hasn't fully started yet. Don't push it. Don't make something just because the silence makes you feel bad. Stay in the pause, the preparation, and the process. God is doing more important things in you right now than what you're waiting for. He is not just getting ready to give a blessing. He is getting you ready to deal with it. He isn't just opening a door. He is making sure you are ready to go through it without getting lost on the other side. Chosen one, I want to be very clear with you. Some of you have been having a hard time with guilt, feeling bad about the limits you set. You feel bad about letting people go, feeling bad about chances you had to pass up, guilt about the rest you finally got, and that guilt has been eating away at you, making you wonder if you did the right thing. I'd like to end that question now. You did. It was right to set that boundary if it made you feel better. It was right to let that person go if it helped you see things more clearly. It was right to say no to the chance if it gave you peace. It was right to take that break if it made you stronger. You don't have to explain why you chose yourself after years of choosing everyone else. You don't have to let anyone in just because they're used to it. You don't have to give your energy to someone just because they think they deserve it. Stop saying you're sorry for changing. Don't feel bad about outgrowing things that don't help you anymore. Don't feel bad about doing what God has been telling you to do in the quiet. People who are meant to stay will adapt. People who are supposed to leave will fight it. And the sooner you accept that, the sooner you will be free, which is what you've been praying for. I want to change the subject for a minute and talk about something that is going on right now that you might not even know about. God has been putting you in the right place, not just spiritually, but also strategically. Even though you have been alone and feeling forgotten, overlooked, and invisible, he has been moving things around on a board that you can't see. He has been talking for you in rooms where you aren't. He has been unlocking doors you didn't even knock on. He has been planting seeds that you didn't even plant. And very soon, people will know your name when you walk into a room. You will get chances that you didn't ask for. You will get help from places you didn't expect. You will look back on this season and see why the isolation was needed when everything starts to happen, why the silence was holy, and why the waiting was not in vain, because you were never forgotten. Chosen one, someone was hiding you, hidden so you could be safe, hidden so you could be ready, hidden so that when you finally come out, the effect will be clear and the timing will be perfect. For a moment, let's talk about your enemies. And yes, I did say enemies, not because you're at war with people, but because there are things that are actively trying to stop you from making progress. There are people who are actively speaking out against your name. There are people who want you to fail. I know that sounds mean. I know it's hard to say, but ignoring them won't make them go away. It makes you weak. Let's give it a name. Let's be honest about it. There are snakes in your group. Some people will smile at you, but be happy about your problems behind your back. Some people ask how you're doing not because they care, but because they want to know something they can use later. There are energies around you that are not neutral. They are not friendly. And for a long time, you gave them the benefit of the doubt. You came up with reasons for how they acted. You told yourself you were being paranoid, but you really felt it. You could feel the change. You could feel the jealousy. You felt the resistance. And God has been letting you feel it, so you would finally pay attention to it. So you would finally stop letting people who are supposed to bring you down in. But this is what you need to know. You don't have to expose those people, those snakes. You don't have to deal with them. You don't have to fix them. God is in charge of them. And He's doing it in a way that makes it clear you was right and you was wrong. He is going to let them show who they are. He will let them show what they really want to do by what they do. He is going to let what they say trap them. And when it happens, when the mask comes off and everyone sees what you've been seeing all along, you won't have to say anything. The truth will come out on its own. So stop trying to defend yourself to people who have already made up their minds about you. Don't try to show people who are set on misunderstanding you that you are a good person. Don't waste your energy on fights that God has already won for you. Not your job to fight. Your job is to stay focused, follow orders, and stay in your place while God does what only He can do. Chosen one, if you are still here and listening, that means something. In other words, this message was meant for you. It means that God planned this moment. It means that you are in the right place at the right time. Before we move on, I need you to do something, if you haven't already. Please subscribe to this channel. Messages like this don't just happen by chance. They come because you are going through a time when you need to be reminded of who you are and who you belong to. And if this made sense to you, pass it on. Send it to the person who came to mind while you were listening, because they need to hear it as much as you did. And when you share it, you are now part of the task. You become a part of the system that heaven uses to wake people up. Let's talk about the change that is about to happen. And I don't mean a small change. I don't mean a small change. I mean that you need to completely change your life. The relationships that have been hard are about to either get better or end. The doors that have been shut will soon either open again or be replaced with better ones. The fog that has been in your mind is about to clear. The fog is about to go away. And you'll be able to see things clearly like you've never been able to before. You will know who is on your side and who is against you. You will know what to go after and what to let go of. You will know when to talk and when to be quiet. That sharp sense of judgment is going to be your best weapon. But this is what you need to get ready for. Not everyone will be happy about this change. Not everyone will be happy that you are becoming clear, because your clarity shows how confused they are. Your calmness is a challenge to their chaos. Your limits show how they are trying to control you. People who took advantage of you when you were unclear, unhealed, and unavailable will not like this new version of you. They are going to call you something else. They will say you have changed. They will say that you are distant, cold, and selfish. And this is what you should say in response. Nothing. Don't say anything. Let them have their own thoughts. Let them say what they want to say. You don't have to explain yourself to them. You don't have to say you're sorry to them. You don't have to let them see a version of you that you've already outgrown. You did change, and you should be proud of that. Growth happens when things change. Change means to grow. Change means not staying stuck in a version of yourself that doesn't work for you anymore. So when they tell you you're not the same, smile and say thank you, because you're not and you never will be again. I want to talk to you about your voice, chosen one. The voice inside you that has been telling you things you're too scared to say out loud. The voice that has been telling you to get out of that situation. The voice that has been telling you to stay away from that person. The voice that has been guiding you toward that new path. That voice, it's not worry. It's not fear. It's not paranoia. It is God's voice. And He has been talking to you clearly, consistently, and all the time. But you've been second guessing it, because it doesn't fit with what other people think you should do. You've been ignoring it because it seems too dangerous, too uncomfortable, and too uncertain. But that voice has never led you astray. Chosen one, you always felt bad about not paying attention to it. Things always worked out when you followed it, even when they didn't make sense at first. This is your permission slip. Don't second guess what you already know. Stop asking people who can't see what you see to confirm what you think. Don't wait for someone else to tell you what you already know. That voice is your guide. That voice will lead you. That voice is God telling you what to do right now. And the more you respect it, the louder it gets. The more you follow it, the easier it is to understand. But as soon as you start to ignore that inner voice to please other people, you lose your way, your peace, and your power. So choose now. You are going to believe what you know from now on. You will respect how you feel. You will do what you hear. This is your life. So even if no one else gets it, agrees with it, or supports it, it doesn't matter. This is what you need to do. You are the only one who can walk this path. Let me tell you what's on the other side of your obedience. Liberty. Not the kind of freedom that comes from not having to do anything, but the kind that comes from not regretting anything. The freedom that comes from knowing you did what God told you to do, even when everyone else was saying something else. The kind of freedom that comes from putting your peace ahead of their approval. Once you really taste that freedom, you will never go back to being a slave. You will never again give up your clarity for their comfort. You will never again make yourself smaller to fit into places that weren't meant for you. Chosen one, you were meant to be alone. You didn't waste your time waiting. Your silence was planned. Your big break is coming, and it's not just coming. It has already arrived. It has already started. It is already happening. You haven't seen it all yet, but you will soon. You will. And when you do, when you finally see what God has been making while you were waiting, you will fall to your knees in thanks and cry, not because you are in pain, but because you are relieved. You will understand why every door had to close, every person had to leave, and every plan had to fall apart. It was all making room for something bigger, better, and more in line with who you are becoming. Don't give up now. Don't give up in the last quarter. Don't leave right before the big break. Stay put. Keep the faith. Stay on track, because what is coming is worth every tear you shed. You couldn't sleep at all at night. Everything that made you feel alone is about to make sense. And when it does, you won't just get through this season. You will look back and see that the season saved you. Before you leave this moment, I want you to do something strong. Put amen in the comments. Not because it's a habit or a tradition, but as a statement. A statement that you heard what Heaven just said. A statement that you are going to believe it even though you can't see it yet. A promise that you will stay in your position no matter how long it takes. You activate it when you say it. You let it go when you say it. You are in line with what God is doing when you agree with what God says. So tap amen and pass this message on. If you haven't already, subscribe and get ready. Chosen one, because your season is changing and things will never be the same again.